So let me ask you, because again, your name comes up over and over again about a possible running mate. And the latest poll, CBS YouGov, puts you third below Elizabeth Warren and Kamala Harris in terms of the favorites, let's say. And you've not been shy about pitching yourself, showing your resume. We even played a little clip of what you feel is your right as a woman, as a black woman, to audition for a job, even publicly. Tell me what it's like to be out there auditioning, knowing that many people think you should. Certainly many people believe that it should be a black or Hispanic woman on the ticket. What is your goal? What is the way you're doing it?
So first of all, the decision of who his vice president will be is solely the decision of Vice President Biden. He has done the job and he knows what he's looking for. And he has a smart team that will choose and help him select from among a number of credible, qualified candidates. And I want to push back. I haven't been pitching myself, which has been a mischaracterization, I think, because I answer questions honestly. I've been getting this question for 14 months, since March of 2019. I've repeatedly received the question, and I'm honored that people would put me into the category and think that that was a question to ask. My responsibility is not to question what journalists think is a valid question, but to answer for the audience that they're speaking to. And as a woman, as a person of color, as a woman of color, it is my responsibility to answer honestly and forthrightly. And if the question is about whether I'm competent and qualified for the job, my answer must be unequivocal, because I'm not simply speaking for myself. I'm also speaking to that young woman of color who is thinking about what is in her future. And if I deny her and deny myself, then I'm doing a disservice to women, to communities of color, and to any disadvantaged community that does not see themselves as the face of leadership.
Okay, so now I have to ask you a question about the Tara Reade allegations. Yes, the vice president has come out and denied them. He has said that he would like the Senate records to be released. Apparently the Senate has said no, the personnel records. You have said you believe his denial. I want to, though, put to you what a very prominent feminist writer has written about the dilemma. Okay, this is Rebecca Traister, who has written in The Cut at the end of April. She said, "We don't have a system or a culture in the United States that would permit a running mate to say, 'I'm deeply troubled by the allegations persuasively leveled against my running mate, Joe Biden, and wish we didn't live in a world in which we had to choose between an accused rapist and self-confessed grabber versus an accused harasser who's now been credibly accused of assault.' But this is what white capitalist patriarchy does, and I'm actually here to try to change that." You know, that's a pretty out there, gutsy way of saying what a vice presidential female candidate should maybe say to these allegations, or to this what's going on in our society. What do you say to that?
I have the deepest respect for Rebecca Traister and the work that she does and the lens that she puts on the challenges that face women in the public space. And journalists are going to ask the questions that they ask. I can only answer for myself, and I can only answer based on what I know. I know Joe Biden. I believe him. I am very pleased that he offered a credible and strong rebuttal and that he directly addressed these issues. But more importantly, I think what we have to focus on is that there needs to be a process for survivor justice. And that process does not currently exist in our politics or in our communities. And that has to be the focus going forward, so we can ensure that this doesn't become a political argument, but really becomes one that focuses on the needs of survivors and creates a process so that they can have their concerns and their needs met.